we go.
All right. Here we go. Another day. Another fucking non-dollar.
Yeah.
So, speaking of dollars, if the world was going to end in a week, would you still go to work?
Fuck no.
Not
How's
at
that
all.
even a question?
Well, let's say not a week, but like a month.
Month? Still fuck no.
No? You got a lot of things you could do in that month that...
What am I going to do going to work if the world's going to end in a month?
I don't know. Some people do it, I think. Well,
Why? Why would you? I mean, how would you know some people do it? The world hasn't ended.
that's what I was saying. Like, but in that movie, Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, he did it for a little bit, I think.
Just kept going to work?
Yeah, just for a little bit. And then he was like, fuck it. What's the point?
See,
And other people did it, like, working at restaurants, and they were like, well, we're just going to make it a fucking party and go crazy.
if I knew the world was going to end in a month, I'm definitely not going to work. Not at all. I'm probably staying locked up in my house. Because at that point, everyone's fucking going crazy.
Yeah, it'll be a dangerous world out there.
It would not be fun. I would definitely be way too scared of fucking leaving the house. Because at that point, everyone's just going to fucking be horrific to each other.
Oh, yeah. The streets will be rampant with
Just fucking
just terrible
murder,
things,
rape,
yeah.
all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
Like, it would be horrendous. It would be ridiculous. Yeah, so I'm definitely not going to work.
It's not like you're going to make it to Quick Check for a pack of smokes
Nope.
either.
Not at all.
There probably won't be any left.
No, you'd be able to do that for like the first day. Rush, grab as much shit as you could possibly get, and fucking hope you don't get shot on the way back to your house.
Like, what's the plan after that? Just hoping that on the last day of the month, like the world didn't end.
Oh my god.
Like, well, population control. The government got us again.
Yeah. You kidding me? That's kind of why I would just stay in my house and not do shit. Because in the case that the world does not end, just keep myself safe and let all the fucking psychopaths just do their thing outside and not bother them. Like, it sounds horrible, but you know, it's like maybe on the last day, if it's like a meteor on like the last day,
Yeah.
and we're like, all right, it's coming, it's hitting, it's like 4 hours away, I'd probably go a little nuts. I'm not gonna lie. I think everyone at that point would just be like, "Yep, we're just done." As this.
I mean, you've been locked up in your house for a whole month.
Yeah.
So on the last day, you're gonna go a little crazy. All I'm seeing is you going outside and, you know, to go take a piss or something, and instead of wearing clothes, you're just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm not gonna wear clothes today. That's how I see you going crazy, because you've already been locked up in the house for a month. Are you gonna like travel down the road and try to drive somewhere?
At that point, yeah, because why not?
If you can even make it anywhere.
True.
Cars all over the road, pathways closed down, and then you'd be like, man, they wasted the good surprise on me.
I wonder how, like, I legitimately think, like, if we knew for a fact, all right, the meteor's hitting, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, like, the meteor's coming and it's hitting. 100% world done. Humanity gone. I'm curious as to how many people just, like we were saying before, just start doing all the horrendous shit that like
they've ever wanted
to do or ever even thought about. Like, I would like to think that that wouldn't happen, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, riots
happen over
consumed
fucking
so easily.
Yeah,
It's
and they
just
start after goddamn sports championships.
Yeah.
Like,
so it would be very easy to imagine nothing worth it out there. But you'd hope that some people would see others doing stuff wrong, and just because the world is ending, they'd still be like, you know, man, get your hands off of her. Or why are you breaking in? Why are you trying to rob this old lady walking down the street? Like, but
I don't know. I don't think I have that
much faith in humanity.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have that much faith in humanity. I really don't. Like,
At that point, would you do that though? Would you don yourself a costume and go be a superhero for the last week of life?
if I had some guns, because at that point it's vigilante justice.
Yeah.
I don't got no superpowers. Like, it's all vigilante justice at that point. But like at that point, does it really matter?
But would you wear a costume?
Maybe. I don't know. It would depend on who I knew was still alive that I cared about, and whether or not it would, that would need to protect them. Like, you know what I mean? Like any secret identity. Like, would I really need to? Would it really matter in that kind of world?
Well, just because you're wearing a costume doesn't mean you're wearing a mask.
True. If I'm not wearing a mask, like,
what's the point?
Exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you. I would likely just, knowing who I am, just still sit
there. Yeah, I mean, there's no, what are you going to do? Try to go out to get food and whatnot? I've honestly been thinking about starting to stockpile, end of the world foods.
Yeah, I feel like if I built a bunker and started stockpiling foods, I would just start drinking one night and I would just stumble down in there and I'd be like, yeah, I'm not leaving for a while.
Yeah, right?
And I would just sit down there and disappear. And then I'd be like, fuck, I'm out of food. And it's only Thursday.
Because, I mean, you think about it, that's what you really, you would need a shit ton of food.
A shitload of alcohol.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, at that point, it's I'm finding all the drugs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at that point, you would just turn into a monster anyway.
True.
Because if you're finding all the drugs, then you're not going to be thinking about what's the right thing to do. You're going to be thinking about nothing because you'll be high.
True. That's very true. That's very true.
Be like, man, I hope the meteor hits when I'm...
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And just fall over.
Because why not? Honestly, why not? At that point, you're going to die anyway. Why the fuck not? Do them all. Try them all. Whatever. Fucking get hooked on it for a month. Who gives a shit? Everyone's gonna die in a month anyway. It's not like it's gonna matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good enough for me.
Yeah.
It's good enough for the queen. It's good enough for me. I don't know where I got that from, but
I was gonna say a lot of things apparently are good enough for the queen that shouldn't be good enough for everyone else. He didn't get that. It was a Jeffrey Epstein thing.
Gotcha.
Prince Andrew. Because he's a pedophile.
Oh.
Yeah, he's wrapped up in all that. So, apparently it's okay with them.
God save the queen.
Yeah, right? Hey. So, since we didn't get to talk about it last week, fucking Mandalorian.
Yes.
I did a review on it. But what did you think of it?
I liked it.
Yeah? Caught up on all 3 episodes?
Just liked it.
I think it's good.
Yeah, I think for me, when it comes to things like Star Wars, obviously as technology improves, the quality of the product can be better, but it doesn't mean that the product is going to be better.
Yeah.
Like when you compare the episode 1, 2, and 3 to 4, 5, and 6, obviously the sequels were better than the prequels or the later movies, but the graphics and everything were better. So I love watching something Star Wars now, like with the Mandalorian, because of how good the graphics are, the quality. It really brings out a lot of, I don't know, just cool details that you would not have normally seen. Like in the old Star Wars movies, Boba Fett with the grappling hook that he shoots and stuff. You don't really get to see that in detail, but in The Mandalorian, you actually get to see how he's using it, how he uses his body armor and all the array of weapons. I think it's a very interesting show, and I love that it's Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. No, he's definitely doing a good job, at least I think. I think the show's great so far. On my reviews, I had people talking about it that didn't like it, and I was like, like, oh, it's boring. I'm like, it's a slow show. It's a very, very slow paced show. But that's,
But it's more like it's reality.
yeah,
Even though it's sci-fi and fake, it's a reality. This
right.
guy going on a bounty. It's not bound to be endless action and endless surprises and
Yeah.
explosions and fights. It's like even an assassin or a bounty hunter, it's still a job.
Right.
It's still a thing they do every day.
Yeah.
Not every day is as exciting as other days. So
Yeah.
and granted, obviously the show, there's excitement. But
Right.
I can see where people would say, "Oh, it's boring," like how I think Titans is boring.
Yeah.
But I don't find this show to be boring.
No, I don't think it's boring at all. I think it is a slow paced show, and in my review, I said it like it's meant to be a western. Like it's meant to be just like a slow western, and it's supposed to be this slow burn kind of thing. Even like Firefly, like that's a western in space, and it's a slow paced show. Like there's not a whole lot of action that happens. It's a lot of talking.
No, I mean it's like Star Trek.
Yeah.
Know?
Right.
You get out
Right.
there. Most of the show is setting everything up, and then there's like 5 minutes of action, and then it's back to the story.
Done. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's the same type of thing. And I think that's what people are getting thrown off. But even the original Star Wars movies, they're slow movies. They're not fast paced. They're not there's action and there's these big ship battles and all that kind of stuff, but they're not like paced super quickly. Like they take their time with everything. And I feel like this show is way more back to form with that. Someone said like, oh, they're just filled with member berries, which all right, fine, that's fair. Like it's filled with just nostalgia bullshit. Like
Member berries.
yeah, of course.
Good one.
Yeah. So I get that, and I get that criticism, but you know what? I'm fine with that. It's supposed to take place just a little bit after after Return of the Jedi. Because I think they said 6 years after after Jedi, and
yeah, because they mentioned in the latest episode 3 how the Empire's gone.
Well, yeah, they mentioned that episode 1.
No, I was drinking during episode 1.
Yeah,
but when you got the credits and they were talking about how the
Imperial
Empire,
credits,
Imperial credit Sigma's on there and everything. I like,
yeah, these aren't good to me anymore. Yeah, it's showing that like it is there, but it's not. They're not worth as much, and it's kind of like dying out, basically.
Yeah.
So,
I do find it interesting that Baby Yoda,
yeah,
has the Force.
No, it makes sense.
But I mean, like, is the Yoda race?
They're hyper force sensitive. They're supposed to be.
Because we've talked about this in the past. I never read Star Wars books or lore. I would just watch the movies, loved them, but those are things I didn't talk about.
Yeah, they're very force sensitive. Like when you go, because even I was like I knew that, but when I just reread, I was like, yeah, they're supposed to be all like extremely gifted with the force. And when I read through it in all the books and stuff like that, his entire race, that's what it is. But
I always did wonder what. Because Yoda was such a small creature, what he would look like as a child. Like, were they the size of frogs and then grew and like that was it?
Right.
It was not something I ever spent a lot of time on, but watching it as a kid, I remember thinking that this guy's really old, and as he was, like, what did he look like as a kid? Now I know.
Yeah,
Baby Yoda is the same size as regular Yoda, just a little bit shorter.
Yeah. And the funniest thing is, too, they don't have a name for the race.
They're just Yodas.
Yeah, Lucas refuses to put the name out there. Like, I guess he does have a name of what it is, but he won't tell anybody what it is. And it's just it's just Yodas. Like, that's the Yoda race. That's what they call them, and that's what it is.
They do that in a lot of things. I just can't think of them at the top of my head right now. But it might not necessarily be Star Wars related, but and I don't think it is actually. I'm just trying to think of what it is. Like, they would call you what you were instead of by a name.
Okay.
Like you were. Certainly, if you're a werewolf, you'd be. Your name's Lycan in this series. Your name's Vampire. Like
Underworld.
No, because it hasn't maybe not anything to do with
Yeah.
vampires or werewolves or Star Wars, but I just can't remember what it was. But I do remember, like, they were called by their race basically before you knew that there were a race of them. Like it may have been comics, it may have been Star Wars, but as you only knew one character, like that's really like
Might have been the Monitor.
like Yoda.
Yeah.
Everyone calls him Yoda,
Right.
and he's the only one you've ever seen.
Well, we've seen 2 technically. We've seen another one, but
Technically,
yeah.
but at that point, like, is Yoda his name or is he a Yoda? You know, are you a Sasquatch
Right.
or are you just called Sasquatch? You know.
Yeah, no, I think Yoda is his actual name, and they've just attached it like that for now, since George Lucas doesn't want to tell us what the race is.
Who cares?
So whatever.
Little green men.
I mean, I liked the I like the baby Yoda. I like the dynamic they have. I really liked in episode 2 when he just kept trying to use the Force and he just didn't. He was like, "I don't get the fuck back in your thing." Like, I actually really
He was trying to heal the cut.
Yeah, and he had no idea what he was trying to do and didn't even realize they had Force, which to me makes sense. Because like, I don't know if people are bitching about that or not. Because like, you got to figure. Like, I get the complaint about like why Han in the original, why he doesn't. Like, there's no reason for him not to understand the Force.
He just
Or know what it
to
is.
believe that it doesn't exist.
Yeah, but like
It's like a gimmick.
yeah, but he was alive during the Clone Wars and all that stuff. So like, it doesn't really make sense. Like, he would know that Jedis were real and that, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but from an outsider, I feel like in Han's position, the only thing he knows about Jedis from the Clone Wars are what he's being told. So what he would know as someone who's not actively fighting in the war is
he would have been a child during the Clone Wars.
Exactly. So
but
it's not like
the Jedi would have been
television.
Yeah, but the
Jedi were
Jedi
showing Jedis doing powers.
No.
It's just they were generals in an army, basically.
Yeah, but the Jedis were the peacekeepers of the galaxy, so it was commonplace for them to be around. So it's not really like.
But every time someone met a Jedi,
yeah,
it was always like, oh, I thought you were a bit. Like
later on,
like the peacekeeping thing was there, but like, oh, that you really have powers.
No, not in the like prequels or anything like that. They all know exactly what the deal is with the Jedi. That's why it doesn't make sense as to why Han doesn't know. It makes sense as why the Mandalorian wouldn't know, because you got to assume with it being 6 years after, so it's like 30, almost 40 years past, you know, the Revenge of the Sith. So like that makes a little bit more sense to me. Like, because at that point there is no other Jedi. There's just Luke. You know, and it's like, if you didn't know that he was the only one or whatever, so it makes sense as to why you wouldn't know what the Force is at that point.
And this guy is not Boba Fett.
No.
So Boba Fett would know about Jedis.
Yeah. I don't know if they're keeping Boba Fett alive at this point with the because he's come back to life a few times where he hasn't died, or he's died.
Some blue lights.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. But he died, fell in the Rancor pit at the end of the Jedi. But then he comes back. Like, that's like the 3rd time he's fallen into the Rancor pit.
I was gonna say, well, just because he fell in doesn't mean he died.
Yeah,
because they did say, how long does it take for you for the food to digest in there?
Yeah,
with all his armor,
not the Rancor,
weaponry.
I'm not talking about the Rancor, but I didn't mean the Rancor, but the fucking sandworm.
Yeah, the sandworm. I think they said like 7. So no, I think I was thinking of gum, but they did say it took like hundreds of years, basically. I think
maybe I don't remember
for you to fully digest so it would be a very torturous death being eaten by one of them.
Yeah,
it's possible that a Mandalorian would find his way out by killing that creature from the inside.
Weirdest thing is he's not a Mandalorian, which I found strange.
That's right, he stole the armor, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what they said with Jango Fett. They did that in, I guess, Clone Wars or Rebels, which kind of goes against
using him as a clone.
Well, just all of the lore in general.
So why would you, if you were gonna make a clone army, you would want a real Mandalorian, not someone who
Yeah,
stole
but so
some
the
armor.
weirdest thing is the Mandalorian isn't just like a thing. It's a race of people. Like
But they have a belief,
yeah,
a
it's
methodology, a way
right.
of life, everything that makes them really strong candidates to
Right.
clone for an army.
Yeah, they're well, yeah, they're a warrior race. When you go back into the old canon that they used to count in, the Mandalorians they literally there's the Mandalorian wars that happened between the Mandalorians and the Old Republic. Like they fought the Jedi and almost kicked the shit out of them. It's like part of the reason why there's such a small amount of small group of people at this point. But yeah, they were like a war tribe. It was combat for, thousands of years with them. So, but it is actually a race, but it also is kind of like I guess you're able to be just raised into it because it's obvious that he's not part of the Mandalorian race, as far as I can tell from the flashbacks that they've shown.
We're talking about this guy,
the new guy, yeah,
the Mando,
yeah, Mando or whatever the hell they're calling him. I wish they would just give him a name. It's so
kept
fucking dumb.
calling him.
Not Billy D. Williams.
Not Billy D. Williams. Yeah, I always say that when it comes to him.
It was shit. Now I can't remember his name. But yeah, it seems like he was orphaned and just raised in the Mandalorian ways.
And it seems like obviously they're saying right now that the Mandalorians don't really exist.
So there's not there's not many of them.
Kids.
That's what it seems like. But the other
like,
Mandalorians that they show are
treating him like he's not.
Yeah, like he's not an actual Mandalorian, and so my guess is that they're probably like the race of Mandalorians, because they are big. Like they show them, and they're twice his size. Like they're bigger. They look more like what you would think a Mandalorian would be, or what they've always been portrayed as, really.
This is why it's easy for him. Well, I shouldn't say easy, but why he's struggling with following the code and taking Baby Yoda. But the rest of them did have his back at the end of the episode.
Well, yeah,
which surprised me.
No, that didn't surprise me at all.
Well, of course, because of their code and what they believe. If one's in trouble, we're here to help.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, you're going to have to move the hive or whatever he called it.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's what we got to do.
It's the way.
It's the way.
Yeah.
So
that is the way. Which I thought was that was the one thing I was really cool about episode 3, was adding in so much more of that lore, showing that it's not just him and this woman. The other ones are there. Like that they're hiding, they're going one at a time. They want to be kept secret. They don't want anyone to know there's a whole bunch of them, which makes sense because they've been massacred twice basically.
But what didn't make sense to me was if they're going one at a time and he just came back from completing his mission,
right?
Shouldn't it be someone else's turn to go out and he immediately walks out and goes to get another job?
Yeah.
Obviously for the show to exist or to succeed, if they're following one character,
right?
Which, based on just having these 3 episodes, they could have done it, different characters, one at a time, just because of that line.
Yeah.
But instead, he went out, asked for another job, and then stole a baby.
Right.
So now all the others have to come out of hiding to save his ass.
It's true.
When he shouldn't have been, based on my understanding, he shouldn't have been out in the first place.
Yeah.
Unless one at a time is not each job, but maybe every couple of years or so that people don't get like, well, if you're going to the bar to collect your credits or to get drinks or do whatever it is, people notice you, they recognize you, and if they keep seeing you with different armor on every time or a different person, then they'd be like, well, I think there's more than one of you. So like, if you were like, all right, you do 10 jobs maybe, or you do a year while we hone our skills, do everything else, practice, live, raise little ones to be in the tribe. Right. Then that makes more sense, but they didn't clarify any of that. They just said one at a time.
Yeah.
It's the way.
That was one of the things I was like, all right, well, none of that makes sense. Like, unless you're saying, unless it's like, all right, yeah, it's one at a time, but it's for stretches of time. Yeah. All right, you go out for 6 months. All right, next one goes out for 6 months. That makes sense.
kind of makes sense because when he went to get the job, he said the further away the better. Obviously, that was to get his mind off of things. He didn't want to have to think about the baby. But the further away, the longer the job is going to be also.
Yeah.
So you could take one job and be out for 3 months.
True.
To complete a job or longer.
Right.
Depending on the job and where it is.
Right. So
Not
maybe
like every job is on that planet or like within the vector.
Right. Yeah. So maybe it's just maybe it's just like job based. All right, you got to do 15 of them, or you have to whatever, or you get whatever. Because like you're right, it could be jobs that take months to do. So
it could also be based on how they're raising the younglings.
Right.
Like how we went to school, grades 1 through 4 was in one school, different teachers.
Yeah.
So maybe they rotate as the training. I mean, these are all speculations of how the tribe are working in the background.
Right, yeah, because we have no, no.
I mean, that's one reason. That's one thing I could think of is you wouldn't want if it was just one every job. Like there would be a different person coming through all the time, and these kids would never have a sense of structure to the Mandalorian way. So maybe it could be based off of training. When does someone complete a certain step of training? And then they go to another group to learn a different skill set, and that person gets free to go do something.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
It is a possibility. I mean, it definitely makes sense as to they would need to...
With so few
of them, yeah. They would have to keep people there to protect and whatnot. So it would have to be longer stints of time in between. So that would make more sense. But... you know what? I was kind of hoping that they would have just dropped Baby Yoda off, and that would have been it, and then they just move off to the next one.
Kind of. I was kind of feeling the same way, but there's no way that they would introduce such a cute cuddle.
Oh no! Oh yeah, 100%.
Not base the show around.
100%. But like, it would have been such a bold move to be like, oh yeah, no, that was just that was just one story. We're doing like just following his back. Like, imagine if they just said, we're doing 8 episodes, but it's just following his different bounties, and that's it.
Yeah,
like
it's the Mandalorian way to not ask questions and forget about your bounty afterwards.
I was kind of hoping that they were like, I was like, oh, are they really just gonna do it? Especially because he just drops him off right in the beginning of episode 3, and you're just like, sorry, spoilers for anyone who didn't watch episode 3. But like, I really was hoping that they would like as much as I wanted to continue to see the relationship, because I like the whole, Leon the professional vibe that they have going on, but I was kind of hoping they would have just had him drop him off and then go somewhere else and whatever and move on. But you're right, they would never. Something that cute, something that, sellable as a toy.
Of course.
Like,
I mean, and I also kind of thought that only for a split second when he did go back and saw the egg in the dumpster, like, oh, I'm too late. And then just moved on. They had a second opportunity to give up. But also, if they did, they'd be like, wow, what a piece of shit.
Well, yeah.
I mean, but even if he didn't go back, he still should have taken the egg. I mean, that's a cool little piece of equipment. Whether or not you're going to put a child in there as a bounty hunter, you could put some bounty in there and just have it follow you.
True.
It's very true. When he climbed up on the rig for the Jawas.
Yeah.
Right? That's...
Yeah, the Jawas.
Yeah, Jawas. It was weird seeing them eat, by the way.
Yeah. It was.
With the hairy egg.
Yeah.
But when he was chasing it and climbing up the whole fucking rig, the egg is still just following him. And I'm like, it's not trying to go any higher to catch up with you. It's not going left and right.
I was confused by the egg. Just because I'm like, I don't know. Is this like, is he controlling it? Is Yoda controlling it?
He puts it on his
okay.
Because other people control it after he hands it off. But there's one point where he goes like this when he's fighting, and the egg moves.
Oh, see, I didn't notice that.
And then when he goes into the pit, I
don't know how I didn't notice that, but
so that it doesn't follow him in.
See, I didn't notice him like hitting the thing on his arm or anything like that. Because that's why I was confused. I was like, I don't know what the fuck
so
is.
So it's like a Bluetooth magnet almost.
Yeah,
it follows his signal, and he can choose to move it around with a shake of a hand.
Yeah.
He can make it closer, farther. So I found it a little weird that while he was climbing, it was still just following and not trying to like swerve in and out, go up and down.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's the range on this thing? Like, how fast can he move before it cuts off?
Movie science. Like, that's the range. Movie science.
Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte was
Are we gonna
great.
see his character?
I'm kind of upset, but at the same time, I'm kind of happy that we're not going to see him again. Like, I kind of like it. Like, it's just okay. You have those two characters, but then you have just random people that he runs into. Yeah, they might be there for an episode or two, and that's it. And
that's what made you think that they were going to drop Yoda off.
Yeah, that's part of it. Because it's like
we're no longer on this planet. We're not seeing this guy. It's not like C-3PO and R2-D2.
Right. They're not following him around.
Offered you a job and you declined.
Yeah, so. Yeah. That's part of it. I was like, all right, well, if they're doing this with all these other characters, like maybe they'll do this with this one too. They don't have the balls to do that, unfortunately.
I did see a post that said by John, or it was saying that Jon Favreau claims there will not be any Baby Yoda merchandise ready in time for the holidays. And then a day later, I saw a post that said there will be merchandise ready, but I guess official Star Wars merchandise of Baby Yoda ready for Christmas.
I saw that they said it's on its way, but I didn't see like when it was coming out. Because there's a big thing. They're like, "Yep, it's already. They're starting production on them, and they're gonna have them sent out." But they didn't say like when or whatever it was. Which okay. All the children and girls who like Star Wars are gonna buy them.
Yeah, and I mean, if anything, as a parent, we should all be happy that they're not out before the holidays because the price will go down after Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like, screw that. Screw paying those crazy prices.
And if you're real cheap and you already have an old Furby out there, you could just spray paint it green and give it to your kids. I mean, the Furby ripped off the Mogwai.
Yeah.
And the Mogwai or the Yoda ripped off the Mogwai also.
Other way around.
Well, technically,
but yeah, no, you're right. Yeah,
Yoda
but baby, yeah,
looks like a Mogwai.
Yeah,
adult Yoda does not look like a Mogwai.
I have to say,
he looks more like a single nut ball sack with ears, or like if Hellraiser took out his pins and got old.
Oh my god!
Because it's got all the lines and.
No, I'm just thinking of a
shriveled.
Yeah, you're an asshole. Shit. That's what I was gonna say. Mogwai, Yoda,
Ballsack.
Oh, I remember. So as much as I'm like hating so many memes right now, I actually am loving all the Baby Yoda memes.
Baby Yoda memes are good.
Yeah. Like I'm hating that I'm gonna tell this is
seeing the you said this.
I'm sick of seeing those ones. I'm sick of seeing I'm gonna tell them that this was blah blah blah. Like I'm gonna tell my kids that this was blah blah blah. Those memes, I'm fucking sick and tired of them. They're getting stupid as shit.
I'm sick of the new version or that one with the cat.
Yeah.
And the two girls screaming is just a newer version of what was that Pawn Shop Stars one?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing. Where they're fighting.
But I'm like, just get over it. Go back to when memes were offensive.
Yeah.
That's all. That's what a meme is for, is to let people say things that they're not really allowed to say.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm sick and tired of them, but I am liking the Baby Yoda memes, all the ones that come. I mean, there are some stupid ones, but most of them have been pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of them, though. I'm liking them all, though. Those I'm liking. Yeah, honestly, my favorite part so far has been when he goes out when the bounty hunters all come out. That fight scene at the end of episode 3, was so good. And then just popping those 10 Mandalorians pop up and just start killing it and mowing down everybody. It's like, oh no. There's 30 of you. There's like 7 of us, and we're gonna kill all of you.
I love the Rocketeer part.
Yeah,
where he's outside flying by the ship and he goes.
Yep.
And I was like, this looks like a shot from the Rocketeer.
Oh, 100%.
He's like, I gotta get me one of those.
Yeah.
And that's when it dawned on me. I was like, holy shit, he doesn't have one of these.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That was
Yeah.
the same thing happened to me. I was like,
He could have used
shit.
this so many times
He
already, and I didn't even think about it.
He doesn't have one of these. I've never seen him use one.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap, that is true.
He wouldn't have had to climb the side of the.
Oh, he would have just the
Jawa rig.
Yeah, everything. I was like, Jesus, I couldn't believe I'd never noticed I didn't have one of those.
Like you say, I can't believe I never noticed that this, as if like this is something that's been out for years, and you're I've watched it like 35 times.
I mean,
and I just never noticed that until someone pointed it out.
I mean, yeah, but it's all like but we're like fresh in. Like you would think, like
how many times have you watched each episode?
I've watched.
I've only seen them all once.
I've seen episode 1 twice, and the rest of them once.
Yeah. So it's okay that you missed it.
Yeah, no. I know it's okay that I missed it, but
There's
was
no
just...
sexy girls outside that were about to come in and be like, "You missed that? Fuck it, I'm done. I'm not coming in. I'm over it. This guy is an idiot. I can't spend my life with him."
There could be, maybe, if I wish really hard.
Hold on, I gotta go text the girls and tell them to go home.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. But still, I loved it. I think it's shaping up to be a really cool show. I think.
Let's hope it doesn't let us down. I don't think it will.
I've decided what I want the ending to be already. If they decide to go like he is a full good person,
that he'll end up fighting the Mandalorians.
No. I hope that by the end of the episode or the end of the season, he does drop Yoda off, but he drops him off at whatever Luke's new Jedi Academy is. I hope like that's the last episode where he's just like, I can't, like, this kid obviously needs more than what I can do.
You're thinking Baby Yoda gets killed by Kylo Ren?
Maybe, whatever. Or he goes back and hide
whatever.
him.
I don't care. He's not a baby at that point. What do I care?
I mean, I didn't think that far. Like, I kind of thought about it. I don't want them to do it where like he somehow is tied in, which I don't.
He gets Jedi powers.
Well, I mean, he's gonna have the Jedi powers, but like, he can already use the Force. We know that. But I don't want him to be
Baby Yoda. I was talking about.
Oh,
the Mandalorian.
Oh yeah. I don't want to see that shit. Fuck that.
I was like, wait, he has powers? No, he doesn't.
No, I don't want to see any of that. But Yoda, I don't want him to be like attached to the new Star Wars in any meaningful way. All I would want to see is him just.
You don't want to see him take the place of Yoda.
Yeah, I don't want him to be
Yoda.
like. Yeah, I don't want him to be the MacGuffin of, whatever, Rise of Skywalker or whatever, which I don't think.
No, I don't
at
think
all.
It will.
But I would like to see them like even if it's just them going to the temple and he's seeing like a bunch of the new Jedi and he just leaves the kid there and leaves or whatever. Or fuck it, recast Mark Hamill or get Mark Hamill and have him just show up like for half a scene for 3 minutes, him handing off the kid to him. Like, here you go, he's your fucking problem now, and just peacing out or whatever. If they're gonna do him as him being a good person, like, yeah, it would make sense. Like,
I'm curious if the Baby Yoda is gonna, like, Yoda himself was very old.
Yeah.
So what's the time span of how they grow? Is this Baby Yoda gonna be a baby for a long time because they live for a long time? Or is he going to grow quickly and then they just live for a long time? Because what if he uses the Baby Yoda with the Force as a partner?
Interesting.
Like, obviously,
I kind of don't want
think
them to
that.
do that.
Obviously, like by the end of the season, that the Baby Yoda is going to be talking, walking,
right.
But like maybe by the next season, if he keeps them, like, it's a little older. It's helping him with jobs because he keeps bringing them on jobs. Like, because right now he's on the run. So is his, like you said, is his goal to get the baby at that point to a Skywalker Academy that he has no idea exists?
So I don't think he knows.
Yeah, exactly. He
doesn't know anything about this stuff as far
but
as
he'll figure it out over time.
Right.
Or run into the right people at the right place. But he could also just be like, well, I think it was wrong to have a baby experimented on, so I'm going to take it.
He wasn't experimented on yet.
He was being experimented.
He was going to be.
You had a little bit done to him. They had him in the machine. Stuff was.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. No, I think they just put him to sleep. I think that was just because they were transporting him off the planet, so they just put him to sleep. And I think the implication is that the doctor
was trying to
like keep him alive and not like just trying to save him. So I think so.
Whereas the employer was like, just kill it and extract everything you need.
Yeah. So I think it would be interesting because you could also take away that maybe this was like a infiltration, like a rebel infiltration person. Because I don't know. It convinced me that he actually was trying to save the doctor.
What were they trying to get from the Baby Yoda? Force?
I don't
things?
know, but that's not how it really works. So I don't really know.
That's not how midichlorians work.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't think George Lucas even knows how midichlorians work. Which that's a off tangent topic, but supposedly Lucas's script was like he like doubled down on midichlorians as far as like what the next trilogy, his trilogy was going to be, which is like okay, that's kind of weird. Like the one thing everybody thought was stupid, you're going to double down on that shit. Weird. But
let's explain the Force through science.
Yeah.
And the Force technically
space
is
magic.
Like religion.
Yeah, space magic.
If you believe strongly enough in God, you will have the powers of a god. Similar.
Yeah.
I'm obviously putting a big spin on
right.
it. But that's kind of the Force. It's like
may
the Force be with you. Come on.
Yeah,
may the Force be with you.
Well, it's supposed to be,
and also with you.
Well, it's also
may God be with you, and also with you. Now have a Christ cake.
Well, it's heavily influenced by, actually Eastern philosophy, of the idea of like, a lot of like Taoism and Buddhism and stuff like that, of like the flow of nature. Really, Taoism it's the flow of nature. That's what it's supposed to be. More so supposed to be is what the Force is.
It's quite a mix of different things.
Yeah.
Obviously. But I've always loved "May the Force be with you."
Yeah.
And also
with you.
Now have a Christ cake and have a sip of my blood, or his blood, and then pass it on to the next person, because we don't believe in that germs can get traveled on. Just wipe it with a rag.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway, I think that Baby Yoda could be, and I obviously don't think it's for this season, but it could go exactly the way that you're thinking. But I think it would be neat to have Baby Yoda be a little helper, helping him on jobs.
And just be like a Force-sensitive helper?
Yeah. Because it's been done before.
Yeah. And then it's really Leon the Professional. Like, it's really that movie, then, if you wind up doing that. Because it's kind of what now... I don't know. Actually, I haven't seen Leon the Professional in years. She doesn't really help him, but she's kind of like more of an... And she doesn't help him, but she's, I don't know, more active and talking and stuff like that. So it would really be... Like, she knows what he's doing and whatnot. But then again, we don't know how much this Yoda knows. He's 50 years old.
Leon the Helper. Wow. I was just... Or whatever you said.
Leon the Professional?
Yeah, that. I'm thinking of that movie, and I was trying to think of what you're talking about, but it just clicked.
Clicked is what it is, yeah. He's dad, and his strange daughter. He's an assassin. Yeah. That's basically what the movie is. The show is. It's basically what...
Which I'm fine with.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with it. I like it. I like it.
It gives us somewhere to go.
Yeah.
Because, like, if it is your method of where he drops him off, then the next season of The Mandalorian is... Because we don't know how this is going to affect the tribe of the Mandalorians.
Right.
So it could possibly be that if he drops it off, the next season, there is no more Baby Yoda. There's new characters, new everything. What is the implication for him for the next season? Is he running from the Mandalorians? Is, what's going on? We don't know. We're so early that we can't say what the next season is going to be.
True. Right.
But if based on how the outcome is, we can have a pretty good understanding.
Yeah.
So if he drops him off, it could just be, what's the next bounty? I'm back. If he keeps him, it could definitely be what's the next bounty. We have our trainees. I have one of my own. I'm a mentor, and this is my mentee. Yeah. There's a lot of different ways that this could go, but I do feel like we will be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting, especially because as far as back with all the Mandalorians and their lore and whatnot, like they don't like Force people. They don't
No, they don't at all.
like at all. It'll
It'll be interesting.
it would be it's
it
gonna
could be something that he hides too. From them.
Yeah, it'll be. But see, and that's where my I thought of. All right, well, this is a Force kid. Like we have no idea how to handle them. We got to get him to someone who does know how to deal with these Force things. Because even though he doesn't know about it, my guess is the other Mandalorians, or at least the woman blacksmith who seems to be the head of everything, probably does know about this stuff. Because the assumption is that they're way older than he is and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Because they also don't know. They haven't seen the kid. They don't know. They have no idea. Or maybe they've seen it, but they don't know that obviously that he's, a Force user or anything like that. But the other thing too is the thing is 50 years old. So like we're assuming.
Oh, the baby's 50 years old?
Yeah.
Well, then why didn't you tell me that when I was talking about how long does it take for these babies to age?
Yeah. Well, the first episode they say he's 50 years old.
I don't remember all of the first episode that well. I never rewatched it after that night you showed me, and I was
so I was I was under the assumption that you knew that he was 50 years old.
Because that's why I said, how long does it take for if they're so
old,
we
don't know.
How long
I don't know.
Baby for?
Yeah,
like his growth stunted because he was in that chamber? Like when they shut it, does it give them the nutrients they need?
Well, you got to figure they live 900 years, 1,000 years, whatever it is. When
so he's
dies.
A fucking infant baby with no.
So yeah, well,
we take him to learn things.
Well, my guess
we don't know
is
anything about his past.
My guess is it's more so from what you're saying, where it's like the growth level. Like he probably knows all this shit, but can't communicate it because he can't talk yet because his body's not up to talking yet.
Or that capsule could have something to do with it.
I don't think so.
Because I mean, you think about it, in this entire 3 episodes, the only time we've seen him eat or drink anything is the frog.
Right.
But he's often in that capsule, and at night he closes it. He was in there. So this...
Yeah, but he's also able to walk around and all that stuff.
Could be providing nutrients without feeding.
Right.
Absorbing it.
Yeah.
So if Baby Yoda was in there for a long time...
Would it stunt his growth?
Be his baby. As if it was cryogenically frozen almost.
Right. Huh. I'm just curious where the hell the thing came from.
Yeah.
That's my biggest question.
I'm curious why the eggs were hairy. It was a hairless rhino.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, I didn't understand that either. I was like, why the fuck is this thing here? That was really weird.
And is it just me, or ever since watching Star Wars as a kid, have you always wanted to see a Jawa's face?
Hell yeah, man. I'm terrified to see what the hell is under there. I liked also
I feel like it's just a stick.
Yeah, right?
With like a stick bug, but with big eyes.
Yeah.
Boop and a Y. But they ate like crazy with that.
Yeah.
That egg, which is also a weird thing. They're like, what can we trade you? We'll take the egg. How many of those Jawas were on that rig, and only like 7 of them got to eat the egg, and the other ones must have been like, "What the fuck, man?"
Yeah, right. I was thinking the same thing.
We just gave up this all this material we could trade and make money off of for an egg that you guys aren't even gonna cook.
I like the little fact that they gave them red eyes, just to show that they're Jawas from a different planet. Because the original
Jawas were yellow.
They're yellow, yeah. The ones on Tatooine are yellow. So yeah, it's a different planet. So of course they would be, have different eye color. It would make sense. I was like, just little things like that I thought were pretty cool.
I saw something that said Jon Favreau will be in the next episode.
Really?
As a cameo. And he might be one of the Mandalorians who never takes off his helmet, though. Just like how in The Last Jedi, there was a shitload of cameos.
Yeah.
That we never knew about.
Yeah, but they're all stormtroopers or this or that. Yeah.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah. Daniel Craig.
Bond. Yeah, Daniel Craig.
There's a whole bunch of them.
And they were all like, "Yeah, we're just untitled, but we were just glad to be part of it." But
Yeah,
like,
and they had like one
Jon
line.
Favreau, I could see him doing that, but
My guess is he'll probably be like in it. He maybe he'll be like one of the aliens or something like that. Because it's like the blue alien was Horatio Sands from SNL. I had no idea until I was like I was like, oh, the voice sounds kind of familiar, and I saw it in the credits. It's like, oh, okay. I'm waiting. I can't wait for Bill Burr's character. Like that's gonna be good. I wonder if he's just gonna be a one-off or if he's gonna be.
I feel like he'll just be a one-off. It'd be funny if he's like a comedian at a bar, though, like at a cantina, or if he's just like an angry bartender or just an angry cab driver. Like,
Yeah,
just fucking pissed off because Bill Burr is always angry.
he is always angry.
Like, if anyone in the comedy industry would be the Hulk, it would be Bill Burr, because his secret is that he's always angry. Even though, like, he's like, "Well, I'm not really an angry person." It's like, yes, you are. Don't lie to us. Don't lie to yourself. You're angry. I get it because I'm one of you.
Oh my god!
You want to know what my secret is?
I'm always angry. Yeah, I'm excited for his cameo. I think it'll be fun. I'm just excited for the whole series. I hope they keep going with it. I hope it gets picked up for a new season next season. I know I guess that's kind of still up in the air, or whether or not Favreau would be doing it or not.
They said the Mandalorians never take off their helmet.
Right.
How to eat?
I think the whole idea. I don't know. I have to look up because I don't know too much about the Mandalorian lore. But I think the idea is that you never take it off in front of people.
Yeah. But even like your own people.
Yeah.
Take it off.
Yeah. The whole point is like you never show your face. You know. I don't know. Sign of weakness or whatever it is.
I just think it'd be amazing if it was like back when the Mandalorians had their own planet and they were,
right,
a huge race. Like people back in the day, like courtship, kings would trade daughters for husbands and stuff, and it was like, and I just think all the women would be like, "Oh my god, he's the best fighter, he's the best bounty hunter, yay!" And then they go home after getting arranged marriage, and he takes off the helmet, and he's just like, "Me," and they're like, "God damn it, I lost the lottery again."
Well, I mean,
because we never get to see their faces.
Yeah, well, you would have to assume
people are humanoids, that they all look different, but you're like, you would have to know how ugly that person.
You'd have to assume, since they are a warrior race, that looks would not matter to them whatsoever.
No,
when it comes to
still,
that,
I just always think it's funny, like Jawas. We don't know what their face looks like. We don't know. If it weren't for the Clone Wars movie, which, again, Boba Fett is not a Mandalorian, we would never know what Boba Fett looked like.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it wasn't Boba Fett.
It's Jango Fett. So
we know that Boba Fett was a clone of him. Just so
version. He may look like him. He may not. He may kind of look like him. Because even like when you look at the Clone Wars,
we've ever, seen one without a helmet on.
Right.
And then in the Clone Wars cartoons is where we saw the planet of the Mandalorians.
Right.
Where they are humanoid.
Yeah. No, they definitely are. Yeah. I don't know. I'm liking it.
Yeah.
I think it's, like I said, how many seasons they can pull out of it, I don't know.
Take what I can get for now.
Yeah. And if it's just like a one-off season, I'm kind of fine with that. Obviously, depending on how they end it, I would definitely want to see more. But I mean, we're 3 episodes in. We got 5 left. It's only 8 episodes long. So I know it's weird that they're all different lengths of time too. Like
episode 3 was 32 minutes.
I think episode 1 was 38. Episode 2 was 30 on the dot, and then episode 3 was 34. Like it's.
I mean, a regular TV show does the same things, but commercials are put in different length commercials to make up that time.
Yeah, but they're all a specific amount of time. So if you look at any hour-long drama or TV show, it's not an hour. It's 45 minutes. Yeah, every single one of them.
There's different times. They could be a little under.
Not by much.
Over. Yeah, but these aren't by much either. You're saying 4 minutes. 6 minutes is the all
That's
time.
Different. No, because when I say not by much, you're talking like maybe a minute, more like 30, 40 seconds difference in timing. They're very, very, like on network television, it's very, very to the fucking T as far as their timing. It has to be because of the commercial breaks.
Like Netflix shows.
Right.
Original shows, they have different timings. They're not.
I'm pretty sure they're all the exact same. I'd have to go back and look. Like I watched Atypical. I think every single episode is exactly 30 minutes or maybe 30, 22 or, whatever, but it's not.
I think that's stupid.
I
don't think you can tell the story you want to tell if you're given an exact amount of time it has to be. If you have the leeway to go over 5 minutes or not put in stupid filler by cutting it by 5 minutes, all right, well, it's going to be 30 minutes instead of 35 or 25 instead of 35 because we got the content we needed and we don't need to just throw in stupid filler.
Yeah.
Or we need to make sure that this dialogue goes the whole conversation and not cut out a minute here and there just to make sure we're on time. It's fucking stupid. And if you're on a streaming platform, no one gives a shit. There's no commercials. There's no show coming on after it that you need to have the restrictions. Who cares? They could put on an episode that's 45 minutes long if the story was good enough.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just like I think they should have had been hour-long episodes. I think the 30-minute thing is too much, and the fact that they're fluctuating up and down. I think that they actually filmed this just as an 8-hour long,
and then just chopped it up.
I think that's realistically what they did. Because when you watch
that's
episodes,
what I would do if I was making a Star Wars type movie. I would do it as a movie and chop it up, basically.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they did because episodes 1 and 2, like episode 2, should have been part of episode 1. Like you can tell, like this was all originally one episode, and they cut it, and like they cut 30 minutes off of it. It was supposed to be an hour and 10-minute long episode 1, and it wasn't. I'm thinking more and more that it might have just been they filmed 8 hours straight, like all 8 hours.
That's how all shows that have a plot should be, not sitcoms.
Yeah,
because every episode is somewhat different. But if you're a sci-fi show or an action show, like even I never watched it, but fucking Lethal Weapon, the TV show.
Right.
If you were gonna make that as, your start of the show and the end of the show has a pinnacle, has a peak.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna lead off for the next season, like a cliffhanger.
Right.
Just shoot it all at once because you already know what the idea is. Writing every week.
Yeah, and I think
creating an episode. I mean, that's how writers make a living.
Right.
But like a show like this, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Shoot it as a movie, cut it down. Makes perfect sense. Just get it done with. Why do you have to? You don't have to constantly change things as they go. It's not like they're modern events.
Right.
They're not based on what happened in the media. They're not based on what celebrity got married and, threw another kid in the dumpster or something like that. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You have a story to tell. You wrote a book. Now you're putting it into a show. Right? Film the book. Chop it up into chapters.
Well, yeah. And that definitely makes sense. I think it's easier to manage when you have just like an 8-episode arc.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, we're just doing 4 hours of, because it winds up being around 4 hours. Versus something like Flash or Arrow or those shows where it's 22 hours of television, or realistically probably 20 when you take out when it's really realistic 45 minutes. So about 20 hours of television. Much different to try to film that all as one consecutive movie front to back versus, something like this that's only 4 hours long, But yeah, my recommendation is if you haven't started watching it, definitely binge all first three episodes. It's only about an hour and a half for the first 3 episodes, so you can binge that in a day.
What day does the show come out?
Fridays.
Fridays? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was checking on it throughout the week, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I think that's why that's one thing that was the thing that made more sense to me is that episodes 1 and 2 were supposed to be one episode, because they released episode 1 on Tuesday and then Friday, and 3 days later, Friday. So like, oh, okay.
Well, I think Disney Plus launched on a Tuesday.
Right.
So it was already there.
Yeah, but they could have launched it on the Friday.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
But, I mean, there's other content.
That's probably
that
why.
did, but that's why it aired the first one on a Tuesday.
Right. And again, gives more credence to the episodes 1 and 2 were probably one episode.
Yeah.
And they just cut it to 2 to make it work like that. Yeah, I think if anyone hasn't watched it, definitely go and watch all 3 episodes. Again, it's an hour and a half. It's not even barely a movie. If you were on the fence about it, definitely keep watching it. If you're watching it, I would say just, and you haven't seen episode 3, keep watching it. And I would say anyone who left after episode, because a lot of people did not like episode 2.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved episode 2.
A lot of people did
I
not.
thought
There's
it was-
nothing that happens in it.
But it was so interesting.
It was. I thought the same thing. But like I said,
I mean,
a lot of
he
people
put a spaceship back together
a lot of people think the
with
show's
Nick Nolte.
A lot of people think the
As
show's
a midget.
boring. Like
I'm
I don't.
sorry, a little person.
Little person. A lot of people think the show's boring, and I don't get it. Like I mean, I understand it. Like some people made some good arguments for it, but a lot of people tapped out after episode 1. A lot of people tapped out after episode 2. They think it sucks. They think it's this. They think it's that.
Yeah, those people probably loved episode 1 and 2 of Star Wars.
No, those are the. It's Star Wars communities
Those are
are just.
the diehard. This is how it should be. People probably.
Yeah, it's
That
the first
I'm not
3
gonna
films are
give
the
it a
only
chance.
first 3 films, and
I'm
that's
not
it.
gonna
Blah,
give
blah,
it
blah.
a chance.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna.
and even
My
when
name
they
is
do,
Randall. There's only one trilogy.
yeah, exactly. And even if they do give it a chance, they're not really giving it a chance. Yeah, they're watching it, but they're being pissed off watching it for whatever reason. I mean, that's a whole nother thing. We go off on Star Wars fandom. That's a whole nother conversation for another day.
If anyone is watching this at this point, put something in the comments. If you've seen any of our episodes, you have somewhat of an idea of what I'm interested in, what John's interested in. Put something in the comments specifically for us to watch that we will be angry at the whole time, so we can have an episode of just anger. Of like, why the fuck does this exist? Why do people like this? Just if someone's watching, put it in there.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, there's no problem doing that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of people for whatever reason don't like it. I think even those people come back and watch episode 3. It was just it was so good. Episode 3, like I loved it. I thought it was great, and I think episode 2 is great as well. I love the show. It's slow pace of the show.
Yeah, it's fine for me.
Yeah, I like that it's not
dig it.
too crazy. It's not going balls to the wall, and they can't, and that's what it makes sense. But
so some people are gonna say that the show is so boring that they needed Baby Yoda to keep viewers interested, or to get nerds' girlfriends to want to watch the show with them because it's Baby Yoda. But I don't give a fuck. I don't think it's boring. So
you know, people say that shit nowadays, and like anytime anyone brings those arguments up, I'm like, you guys are morons. I'm like,
not watching
every
the show
goddamn
for
girlfriend
the-
I've had since 2005 has liked Star Wars and has gone out of their way to watch. I went to the Clone Wars animated movie with a girlfriend because she wanted to go. Like, this whole idea that, like, oh, they put this stuff in there just for the girls because they want it to be cute. No, they like the shit just as much as we do. Like, I hate those stupid
some of them do.
arguments.
Not all of them do.
Not all of them,
My
but like,
girlfriend's not really into Star Wars.
yeah,
whatsoever.
but I mean,
And
there's.
I told you she didn't like Clerks.
Yeah, well,
So.
she's a fucking horrible person. No, but I mean,
But
like, you know,
she's gonna love Baby Yoda.
people are out there. Yeah, right. You know, it's like, just calm the fuck down. Star Wars has always had cutesy little bullshit in their movies, like always.
Yeah.
You know,
The Ewoks.
well, people didn't like the Ewoks in the beginning as well, so
The Ewoks were the best.
it's always been an issue.
I love Ewoks.
Yeah, because we were born after the movie. Like,
That's true.
was it Barney Stinson has it? If you were 11, or if you were over 11 when you saw the Return of the Jedi, you hated the Ewoks, or if you were under 11 when you saw it, you loved the Ewoks.
It makes sense. It's cutesy. You're a kid.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they were trying to roast humans alive. I really had a.
Well, the whole thing was originally it was supposed to be a Wookiee planet.
But it doesn't matter what it was originally supposed to be. It's matters what we saw.
Oh yeah.
And you could tell me that fucking Ted Bundy was originally supposed to be a scientist, but it doesn't matter. He did what he did.
Right.
So the movie did what it did. These Ewoks were gonna roast humans alive.
They were gonna kill
and there was
all
something
of them.
about that I really enjoyed as a child.
Little teddy bears getting ready to eat us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Because that's really
good.
quite naturalistic of that creature.
Yeah, you would think about it.
A bear in our woods eats people.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the dexterity and mind to build a fire and
right. Them, but you would think they're a primitive group of, things.
They're
and
not
bears.
vegetarians.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're still bears.
Yeah.
like they're still going to be eating meat. They're
just bears with Snow White's face pressed up against the glass as a face. It's just it.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
I'm loving it. I'm thinking Star Wars was a good topic. And I think next week what we should do, if anyone cares, is debate whether or not Zack Snyder's Justice League Director's Cut should come out and what the consequences are if it comes out and fails.
That would be a good topic for next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll do a debate on that. Because I believe that you are against... Are you against the Snyder Cut?
No, I'm excited for the Snyder Cut to come out. I'm okay if it sucks. Like, if it comes out and it sucks, I'm not going to be like, fuck Zack Snyder. But for a fact, everyone out there that said the Justice League sucks and Zack Snyder was the shit and Zack Snyder's cut should have come out is going to immediately turn on Zack Snyder. And
if it sucks.
Zack Snyder will never work again. And that's one of the consequences I think will happen if this Snyder Cut doesn't work.
I don't think Zack
But we
Snyder
can go into depth about it at a later time.
We'll talk about that next week.
Because we could go a whole other hour on just how stupid the internet is and what they do, what their actions... The consequences can... I can't speak. But, all the things people talk about on the internet and make popular and make... There's consequences to those.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're not always good.
It's true.
I mean, sometimes you do a lot of good with it. Other times you could ruin someone's career just because you thought it was too campy or whatever. Because everyone can anonymously just get together and vote on something that was terrible.
True.
You'd think we'd have better elections. But hey.
No, we don't.
No.
Not at all.
Put the election available on the internet. See what happens.
Oh, God. We would have...
Keep the Russians away from it.
We'd have President D's nuts and Vice President Pepe the Frog.
But even if you just took the actual candidacy and put it on the internet and it wasn't write-in,
right?
So the people of the internet couldn't fuck it up by doing D's nuts, but just basically had to do the same thing that you do in person, but you were able to just register and do it on the internet. More people would do it, but also...
Do you really want those stupid ass people to be doing it?
No, not at all. Because their actions have consequences.
It's true.
But we're also having shitty consequences from interaction.
Right.
Human interaction. But anyway, I don't want to get into
that. Whatever. All right, we'll get back next week with other shizzle.
So, before we leave, I was thinking we're going to put a poll up on either our Instagram or Facebook, if anyone who's there, to let us know what comic book story arc we should read. And if it turns out to be a tie, or we could do two, and we could do John's opinion on one and my opinion on a different story arc, whatever. But we'll put a few different ideas out there, things like House of M or Kingdom Come,
or just anything.
Flashpoint event,
Flashpoint, whatever.
A few different options. Just vote on if you've never read the series and you want to hear it compressed down and understand it without actually having to pick up a book or turning on your computer screen. Well, you still have to turn on your computer screen to watch this. Either way, you know what I'm saying.
thing we're gonna be
We'll
trying
put
to
a
start
poll
doing.
out there. Anyone who's interested, vote on it, and we'll read it for you. And we'll tell you what it's about.
Or read along, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, tell you what it's about, and discuss it and review it, and all that kind of stuff, and just go over it. And
Maybe we'll try to get in touch with the distributors and see if we can do the Audible version. So we'll read it, and they can sell it.
yeah, right. All right.
No.
Anyway,
That's never gonna happen. But
yeah,
that'd
right.
be pretty cool.
That would be awesome. All right, so we're gonna get out of here, and then we'll come back next week, talk some more about the Snyder Cut and whatnot, and maybe some other things. And yeah, everyone like, subscribe, share, comment, and see you guys next week or whenever.